Rumors about what happened during the invasion are sketchy on the best of days, and downright unbelievable on others. Still, I feel it's only fair to hear these stories out and give them their proper due. After all, myths are just legends that have yet to be proven. XCOM has recruited people from all over the world and all walks of life. A few are veterans from the war 20 years ago. Of that rare breed are two soldiers who allegedly existed back in the day. One was a former Triad member who made a deal with XCOM. In exchange for protection, he gave them a device that would lead to the capture of an invader battleship. The other was a civilian who displayed unequal strength in the psionic powers. She was pursued by both the aliens and another shadow organization. These two, if they ever did exist, were called Zhang and Annette Durand. We will first cover Zhang's story, or as it would come to be known, Operation Slingshot. XCOM received word that a member of the Triad organization had acquired a unique piece of hardware. XCOM sent a squad to Hong Kong to meet with the operative, and that man was Zhang.
You must be my contacts. No one who fears reprisal would make an entrance like that. Not so different from killing a man. It won't take long for them to realize I'm missing, especially since I've got this thing with me. If you take me with you, it's all yours.
Zhang was tasked with delivering the device to a drop point by his boss, but after he saw what it was, he began to fear the implications of it. While we can only speculate, was his boss working for the invaders? Or do they already have more control over him than even XCOM do?
I am alive. But the life I had is gone now. Funny that my life should take such an unexpected path. Turning my back on old friends to defeat a common enemy.
After escaping the cemetery, getting the device back to the base, Dr. Valen confirmed that the device was extraterrestrial in origin, and Chief Engineer Shen set to work on discovering its purpose. As for Zhang, he had just betrayed his former employers, not to mention the invaders would also be looking for him. So he stayed with XCOM, and became a powerful ally in field operations. The device was discovered to in fact be a transponder of some sort, and it was tied to an alien battleship on a direct course to a major city in China. Acting quick, Dr. Shen created a series of modified transponders that could throw off the aliens' navigation system and lead them away from the city using the railways. XCOM deployed a squad to place transponders on the train and finally activate it, diverting the battleship away from the city and low enough to allow another squad to land directly on the ship and take it over. It was a hard-fought battle, but they say that XCOM was able to disable the conduits tied to the ship's power and brought it down. Zhang had managed to secure the largest cache of alien technology and resources XCOM had ever seen. It was a gamble to trust him, but he managed to pay it off. To tell the story of Annette, we actually need to tell the story of another group. A shadow organization of humans who opposed XCOM and saw the technology the aliens used as a path to power. This group was called Exalt. Exalt was an organization that held transhumanist ideals. While they were not directly aligned with the invaders, they saw their technology and resources as a means to evolve humanity. It is speculated they ultimately wanted to overthrow the world governments and establish a new world order, with them as the ruling power. Exalt worked against XCOM in the shadows, causing panic in the council, draining funds from XCOM, and even destroying research. But these were all things learned later, as Exalt's activities were dragged into the light. The first contact XCOM had with Exalt, they didn't even know their name, or even how lucky they were. An unauthorized French military convoy was attacked. The ambush was allegedly done by other humans, and the aliens were moving in fast. The situation was getting worse by the minute, so XCOM was tasked with investigating and locating any survivors before the invaders did. Upon arrival, it is noted that the military convoy was attacked with conventional firearms, leading to more questions than answers. As the squad moved through the burning streets, they had managed to find one survivor. It was unknown who he was or even which side of the conflict he was on, but they knew he was valuable. So he was brought back to XCOM's base for interrogation. I mentioned how this event was a lucky one for XCOM. Allow me to elaborate. As XCOM would become more aware of Exalt and their activities, they had several tactical confrontations with their operatives. Exalt field units are fanatical in their belief to the cause, and they would sooner commit suicide by injection than be taken alive. The fact that XCOM had managed to find one alive and get him back to base for interrogation was truly a once-in-a-lifetime shot. After weeks of interrogation and the assault on the XCOM headquarters, the Exalt operative finally broke and gave XCOM intel on the missing convoy. There was a dam in eastern France that worked as a rally point for Exalt. Unfortunately, the aliens had also been tracking that convoy and cornered the truck. There was some sort of weapon on the truck that the aliens used in the base attack, and if they couldn't have it, they would destroy it. As XCOM fought their way to the truck, they also had to open valves along the dam to prevent it from collapsing under the aliens' assault. Once they opened the valves and secured the area, they approached the truck to see the weapon that caught the eyes of Exalt and the aliens.
Please, you don't understand. I have to get to the others. You can't. You don't get it. Do you know how many of us they killed? You can kill them? But how? Please, you have to help me find the others.
The weapon, it turned out, was a young French woman named Annette Durand. She displayed an impressive amount of psionic energy and was eager to take the fight to the invaders. So she joined as an operative. While not the most skilled with weapons, her true strength was her mastery of psionics. Annette explained to XCOM how there were still more abductees located in the Alps. The aliens were keeping them in stasis and on life support. XCOM had to play it quick to prevent the aliens from pulling the plug. The odds were against them, and they still managed to pull it off. With their liberation, Annette had freed her fellow prisoners, and much like her, they wanted to fight. They joined XCOM, and with their psionic skills, they became known as the Furies. Although never proven, I like to believe that Annette and the Furies were the group that dealt the final strike against Exalt, burning their Skyrise headquarters to the ground and forcing them into hiding. These stories make for a good tale around the campfire, but it is here where I must point out that all of this isn't true. All these events don't align with what we know happened during the invasion. Zhang, if he ever existed, was only a soldier in XCOM for a brief while, not nearly long enough to bring down a battleship. Annette was used by the invaders to assault the base, successfully destroying XCOM, so no one would be there to rescue her. And Exalt was probably destroyed in the first few weeks of the conflict, along with most of the civilian population. And with the Council's surrender, they either disbanded or tried to get in with Advent. But even so, a part of me still likes to believe that Annette and Zhang are out there, on the run from Advent and whoever else they've managed to piss off. Someone as resourceful as Zhang and as powerful as Annette? Maybe they managed to slip into one of the Resistance factions. We've all heard the stories that Bradford tells after he's had too much to drink at the bar. Maybe we could put them in the same category. A wise man once said, "Folks need heroes to give them hope." And that's something the invaders will never be able to understand or take away. There's always hope.